What's going on, y'all? Thanks for checking in the Khaliis Take. You know what to do. Hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell just so you can get the newest and the bonus content first. But hey, let's just go ahead and jump right in. I'm speaking on this now because I know it's going to come up and I know it's actually going to come to fruition soon. Kevin Durant speaks about asking for a trade from or requesting a trade from the Brooklyn Nets, per the reports that's out there. I was looking at a few sites and just always reading and always, trying to obtain information and, gain knowledge myself. I just love doing that. That's just something I love to do. So, I was looking on theathletic.com for one where they kind of, explained about it, went into a little bit more in specifics. And, they opposed the question as well about, would the Clippers pursue or should they go after Kevin Durant since he's asked for a trade? Now, I know it's going to come up even more because Kyrie was involved. One of the teams that was involved with Kyrie, in regards to Kyrie anyway, of being traded from the Brooklyn Nets was the Clippers as well, along with the Lakers. I think the Clippers just shut down the idea of Kyrie because of they see how disruptive he is. They see how much of a non-factor he can be in regards to, when you need him there, sacrificing for the team, big moments, things like that where, he's needed and he's not reliable. They see things like that. I don't think that's the culture they're trying to build where they are. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely see why they trended away from him. And I definitely, 100% don't blame him because I wouldn't step nowhere near Kyrie Irving because I just don't trust the guy. He's not a trustworthy guy. He's not, good, for a culture if they're trying to win, at least not at this point in his career. Maybe going forward, he might be different if he sees things differently, but Kyrie sees things one way and that's his way. And usually players that have that self-centered way about them and everything they do, and they really don't care how they come off to others and to their teammates, they usually don't win championships, or at least consistently anyway. So now the question comes about, Kevin Durant, and I'm pretty sure one of the big name teams that's out there right now that's going to get thrown in the mix is the Clippers, because everybody's looking at the Clippers as one of the teams that can come out the West. Even Draymond Green says their biggest challenge is going to be the Clippers next year out of all the teams in the West currently stacked. And even though Draymond's not an analyst, but Draymond, he is a high IQ basketball player. He knows basketball. He plays it at a high level. He's won championships. He knows what he's talking about, and he definitely speaks basketball very well. So I can definitely agree with Draymond Green on the situation, because I definitely think the Clippers are going to be the toughest team in the West next year. I think they can definitely easily come out the West, so, and I think they will be the biggest challenge for, either the Warriors or, maybe even Memphis. Memphis is going to be really good next year, I think, if they stay healthy too, along with Denver. I think they're going to be good underratedly too, but still, my point is, the notion of Kevin Durant going to the Clippers is going to be put out there. Matter of fact, if you read theathletic.com, Shams, he reports that, there could be something between the two, because if Kyrie, hypothetically, look at it like this, if Kyrie goes to the Lakers, well, is it out of the realm, or is it out of the thought process that Kevin Durant can go to the Clippers? I mean, him and Kyrie, play against each other in a 7-game series, possibly, if the Lakers can go that far. I mean, that's very possible. I mean, I can see that happening. Now, the trade scenarios that they put out there, or that was on athletic.com, and I think, there's a couple other sites I read too, but mainly Athletic kind of put more perspective around their point. So that's the one I'm talking about the most. But the notion that they have put out on that site is, of course, trade, I think, Paul George was a name that was put out there, of course, trade Paul George for him. And then they had a couple other scenarios where it's Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson, and Marcus Morris traded to the Nets for Kevin Durant and a pick or something like that. Okay, well, I hate to see all that depth go, but I mean, for Kevin Durant, you got to take that. You got to take that deal. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is Kevin Durant we talking about here. We're not talking about, great role players or anything like that. I've been said, I like, the Clippers role players. I like the culture and everything. But if you got a chance to get Kevin Durant, you just go do it. I mean, that's just the way it is. That's a one-in-a-lifetime type player. And you add Kevin Durant with Kawhi Leonard and Paul George and John Wall, I don't see nobody stopping that. I mean, I just don't. Like, I mean, the Lakers can get anybody they want. It's not going to matter. Kyrie is not going to be, he's not going to be good enough to stop that. Because like I said, you got LeBron and all that, but AD stays hurt half the time. You don't know what you're getting out of him. LeBron is getting older. LeBron always, I think LeBron played good in the regular season last year, but we saw what happened to him the year before when he went to the playoffs. He got gassed. He was tired. And this is what I'm saying. If he would have went into playoffs last year, I think you would have saw a lot of his fatigue come out more. But when he just played the regular season, so he made it to the 82 games. They ain't have to go in the playing tournament. So, I mean, good for him. But the playoffs are a whole different animal, and he knows that. So I think if the Lakers do make it to the playoffs, he's going to be gassed by then. So I don't think they would have a chance against the Clippers anyway. But still, if they add Kevin Durant, it would just be like, unfair for every other team. But it'd be great to see the Clippers, definitely get a championship. Because, I mean, him, Kawhi Leonard, I mean, come on, that's ridiculous right there. That's crazy. That would be good to see. But I honestly, I would love to see it. Honestly, I would love to see it because I would love to see, KD get another one. Of course, my boy Kawhi, that's my favorite player. Love to see Kawhi get another one. And, Paul George get, of course, I want to see these guys win. So, I mean, it would be great to see, but I don't know if it's really actually going to happen, of course. But the trade scenario of that situation, I don't know what the Clippers would do if they actually did think about it or think into it. I think they probably would trade, of course, some of the role players. I think the Marcus Morris, Luke Kennard, Reggie Jackson, I think that would be more of the trade they would take. Then there was another trade scenario they gave as well about, Norman Powell and Marcus Morris and Brandon Boston Jr. Now, I don't know. I personally don't think the Nets will go with that. Personally, I don't think they would, take a Brandon Boston. I don't think they would go with that trade as well. I mean, because like I said, Norman Powell, yeah, that'd be good. Brandon Boston would get more an opportunity. Yeah, that's cool. But at the same time, they still want something in return that might be a little bit more that can, help them at least be, more of a better team. And I'm not saying Norman Powell and, Marcus Morris wouldn't fit in there, but I think they would more or less probably go with the Luke Kennard, Marcus Morris, that trade, and Reggie Jackson. I think they would go with that more because those guys, they saw what those guys can do, like on a consistent basis. I mean, even though Marcus Morris not that consistent, but when Marcus Morris is engaged, he is a pretty decent player. So him, Reggie Jackson and Luke Kennard, well, first of all, you got a shooter in Luke Kennard, you got a scorer in Reggie Jackson, and you got a guy who's a two-way player still in Marcus Morris. So it's like they're gaining something there. So I think if the trade was going to happen, those would be the three guys they would look for, and maybe even a pick in the future or something like that. Maybe a second round pick or something like that. If the Clippers had one or something, I think they would go after that. That would be more feasible, unless of course they would take, Paul George or Kawhi Leonard in a trade or something like that. But I definitely don't see the Clippers. They're definitely not doing that. So, like I said, I mean, it would be very intriguing, if that actually did happen, but I don't really see this happening. I mean, honestly, even though Kevin Durant asked for a trade, I mean, who knows? He still might end up being on the Nets. I mean, for all it's worth. I mean, we have to see how it actually pans out rather than, speak of it. We have to actually know. We have to have facts. So the facts are, we got to see, Kevin Durant go to another team. Him saying it or per him saying it through the reports, we have to see that. We have to see him step into another locker room, put on another jersey, and go through with it. That's the only way we really need. That's the only way we're going to believe it. So my thing is, it's very possible. I'm not saying it's not, I'm not saying it's out of the realm or anything like that, but I personally don't, see him coming to the Clippers, but I don't rule anything out in the NBA, because one thing about the NBA I've learned, NBA's full of drama and they're full of trades. You see what I'm saying? So trades happen at any time. People switch teams all the time. That's just the way it is. Your superstar, your favorite superstar, you can't get used to him being one team because he's not going to be a one team all his career like it was back in the 90s. It just don't work that way. You see what I'm saying? So I get it. I understand. I'm with that. But at the same time, of course it'd be a dream for Clippers fans to see Kevin Durant, in a Clippers jersey, because now you got Kawhi, him, PG, John Wall. That would be the ideal team of like all time to watch. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, they pretty much will walk through the West if that actually happened. I mean, of course, if Kyrie went to the Lakers, like I said, that would be a little bit of a rivalry, but it wouldn't be much because if Kawhi Leonard's healthy, to me, he's the best player on the floor. And he's the X factor all in the same breath. If they play the Lakers in a 7-game series, hypothetically, if they had Kyrie, the Lakers, and the Clippers had Kevin Durant, because there again, Kawhi can guard anybody. Kawhi plays defense on that end, and he plays defense at a higher level in the playoffs. Kawhi is the best playoff performer we ever seen. So in the playoffs, if they had to play each other, Kawhi would shut a lot of things down. And then on top of that, like I said, he would just be the best player on the floor because he plays both ends of the court. Kevin Durant can score, but Kawhi can too. And this is what I'm saying. Like, when it comes down to making defensive plays in a series like that, who would make the more defensive plays? The Clippers would, because they got arguably the best defender, arguably of all time, in Kawhi Leonard, the best two-way player in the NBA currently. And you still got Paul George, who's a two-way player, and you got all them other defensive pieces that they have. So it's like, I think the Clippers would win. I think they would win in 5-6 games. But still, my point is, I would love to see, if the Clippers would at least explore Kevin Durant, if this is really true about him speaking against the Brooklyn Nets and wanting a trade. But I don't see it happening, for the reasons of, like I said, I think the Clippers are really happy with what they got. I think they really are happy with, the culture and everything like that. And I think they're really happy with their chances going into next season, what they already have. You see what I'm saying? So, why pursue somebody like him unless, it's really true, the reports, and unless, they can get a sweet deal for it. You see what I'm saying? Or, not give away too much and, get, a lot in return. Of course, the Clippers would do that. So, I mean, like I said, I don't rule anything out because the NBA is full of trades and drama. So you never know what's going to happen. But I personally don't see it happening because a lot has to go right and a lot has to go, click for that to happen. But I mean, hey, like I said, you never know. So we'll see what happens. But I would be surprised. Let me say that I would be surprised if that did happen. If Kevin Durant ends up with a Clippers jersey on, I would be shocked. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So I gotta keep it, a stack with you. I mean, I would be 100% shocked. No cap on that. I mean, for real, I would be, because I just can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I guess because it's like such a far out dream or something like that, or it's like a far out thought process. Like, I can't even picture him on the Clippers right now because I think they're just going through a bunch of drama in Brooklyn, and I feel like it'll all get settled. That's the reason why I say I can't see anything happening like that. But if it did, wow, the NBA would really be in trouble if Kevin Durant decided to join forces with, the Claw, because him and the Claw would just run through everybody in the NBA. I wouldn't give a damn who's on the opposing team. It could be Stephen Curry. It could be his wife. It could be his brother. It could be another great shooter of all time. I really wouldn't even give a damn, because if the Claw and Kevin Durant, the Slim Reaper, were on the same team, I don't give a damn who they're playing. You're not winning. That's just the way it is. Not unless one of them or both of them get injured or something like that, or, whatever the case may be. That would be the only way you will win, because I don't see nobody stopping that type of duo. Because for one of them, like I said, is the best two-way player in the NBA, arguably the best defensive player we ever seen of all time when Kawhi decides to really lock somebody down. Then on top of that, I mean, you still got Kevin Durant, just come on, that's Kevin Durant. I mean, this dude is cerebral assassin on the offensive end, killer mentality. I mean, come on, like that's it would be unfair. But I mean, I would love to see it. I mean, hell, it wouldn't be no different when the Warriors had Kevin Durant when they were a nuclear team, right? So why not let the Clippers be a nuclear team? So it would be great to see. But I just, I'm just more on, I believe it when I see it, if it does happen, but don't get your hopes up. But we'll see what happens and see how it turns out. But I figure I'll go ahead and speak on that before everybody else really starts speaking on it a lot, because I'm pretty sure you're going to hear the reports even more these next several days until a decision's made. So we'll see what happens, and we'll see, where the dice falls, and see how it all plays out. But hey, that's my take on everything. Leave any comments in the comment section. Check out my other videos if you haven't. And hey, Khaliis out.